Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Michael, and we're going to be getting right back into some more Reddit stories. If you enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Now, without further ado, let's begin. This story was posted by a user named Warrior Woman in the AITA subreddit. The post is titled, "I called my coworker creepy and gross, which I got him in trouble. I am 23 years old, female, and I started this job a few months ago. I am the only woman in our department of about 30 people. There is one man in his 50s who has been telling me about all the younger women he has slept with and making insinuations towards me. He kept telling me how he pleasures women. I tried to be nice and ignore it. I even said I was not interested, but he just kept going. Finally, I lost my patience and snapped at him. I told him he was creepy and gross and that I was never going to be interested in some old man 30 years my senior. Management overheard and pulled me aside to find out what had happened. I told them about his comments to me, and he was written up for sexual harassment. This is his second write-up. The first was for injuring someone. He had been at this job a lot longer than me, and now half the department is angry with me because he is about to be fired and they think it is my fault. The other half are on my side. They said I did not have to be such a bitch about it, that he is like that with girls he finds attractive and I should be flattered, and that I should not have yelled at him because now management is involved. Work is really uncomfortable now because half our department does not want to work with me. They are also upset that all of us have to go to sensitivity training now. Thank you for all the support. I am going to keep in mind what everyone is saying, and I will not tolerate being bullied." Just as a clarification, Mr. Creep's first write-up was for injuring someone. He was pushing a large server enclosure too fast, not watching where he was going, and ran over someone, injuring them. Update. For those who want to know the timeline, this happened on Monday. The case went up to legal. I had a meeting with the department head about this and told him about the retaliation. He addressed the department. Mr. Creep was told not to return on Monday. HR came back with the decision to fire him. Update 2. I went to my boss about the retaliation and he said he would address it. A meeting was called and I was taken into the boss's office while they met with everyone else. He made it clear how things were going to be from now on. After the meeting, the responses I received were mixed. Some of the team leads outright stated that they did not want me on their team. I was told things like, if you did not want to be objectified, you should not have been a model. I did some modeling work in college for money, and have you tried looking less attractive to dissuade them? One man got particularly upset and told me it was just locker room talk. Men do this. Everything was fine before you got here, but now everyone has to walk on eggshells to avoid offending the girl. If you cannot handle the way men talk, maybe you should teach kindergarten. There was also some genuine sympathy for me. 2 co-workers confided that they are gay and are afraid to speak about it. We were all required to attend a seminar about diversity, prejudice, and sexual harassment. There was plenty of eye-rolling and groaning. As it turns out, this issue is much bigger than me. Upper management was not satisfied with my boss's predecessor or the department, and my boss was hired to make significant changes. Apparently, I had just volunteered to be part of that change. Many things did not meet his standards. A lot of people who have been with the company for a long time are unhappy that none of them were promoted to department head, and because things are being done differently now that my boss is making changes. He has been busy assembling his own team, loyal to him, since many of the longtime employees do not agree with the new agenda. I am a part of my boss's new younger team. This is another reason for the hostility towards me. My boss has been looking for reasons to remove many of the longer tenured staff. The man who was harassing me was among them. He is now gone. Management decided he was too much of a liability because of this incident and the injury he caused through negligence. They gave him his last week so he could leave with a paycheck from a full pay period as a courtesy. A few of the team leads said they did not want me on their team because I cannot get along with the men. My current team lead volunteered to have me on his team and has been the one telling me about all the workplace politics. My boss called me in for a meeting to see how I was doing and if I was being bothered. He asked me to be patient and to bear with him because he wants to make big changes and wants me to be a part of that effort. He said before he can let many of these people go, he must first bring in and retain their replacements. If I stay, he will need new team leads and I could become one. For now, I am going to stick with it and support my boss, as he seems to genuinely want to keep me. I have seen some comments about age discrimination, so let me clarify a few things. First, when I say older, I'm referring to the length of time they have worked here compared to my boss's start date. Although he is hiring mostly younger people, it is because we have more up-to-date training. Second, while it is true that many people being considered for termination have been here longer, there are some who have not, and it is not about age. The people being let go either have a bad attitude, refuse to adapt to the changes, or have outdated skills. Third, all terminations must be approved by HR. User Hyena Straight said, one of my biggest supporters as a woman was an older man who was not my direct supervisor but was 2 levels above the person I reported to. He overheard his own peers speaking about me in a rather disgusting way and reported it himself to HR. I was called in completely blindsided, but I had experienced incidents I was not comfortable with and at the time did not know were serious enough to report. After speaking with me, everything exploded. Something similar to what happened with OP occurred. I stayed and was happy, but there was still some attitude and coldness directed toward me. Whatever the case, it did not affect my work performance. Things came to a head when I was required to go on this strange team building, personal improvement, and development weekend away. During a workshop, I asked one of the men who had a daughter my age how he would feel if his coworkers spoke about her and having sex with her the way they did about me. He insisted they never would. I asked if he was absolutely sure of that, because if they would risk being fired to say such things about an employee, why would they not talk about his daughter when they could not be fired for it? I mentioned noticing what she wears to the Christmas party and how his colleagues look at her. I challenged him to say with certainty that his co-workers had never discussed her body or appearance, at least when he had left the room. He could not answer. That was what made it finally sink in for those older men. The things said about me were not just locker room talk. It was being vile for no reason other than that they could be. It was pathetic that it had to be related to their own children and how upset they would feel if I were their child, for them to finally realize I am just as human and just as deserving of respect, and that I should not have my boss's friends and my superiors talk about having sex with me on my work desk. The man who reported it rose as high as he could in the company here and then joined the main headquarters in Japan. It was truly well deserved. This next post was made in the relationship subreddit by a user named CCBoy. The post is titled, "My boyfriend of 8 months is starting to police my eating habits and I'm tired of it." For the record, I am a small-framed, visibly muscular woman who is 5 feet 4 inches tall. My weight fluctuates between 128 and 135 pounds. My boyfriend has always teased me and encouraged me to eat more, but it was always playful before. I used to tease him about his enormous portion sizes. Seriously, where does it go? Because I had to start making date night dinners that should serve 4 people. To be clear, he constantly underestimates his own calories and is often shocked when reading nutritional information. I do not know where he got the idea that he is knowledgeable enough to judge what I am eating, but there you have it. Lately, he has become very fixated on the idea that I am going to start starving myself without his guidance. I do not have a big sweet tooth, I do not snack regularly, I usually eat only half my restaurant entrees, I am a lightweight with alcohol, and I prefer a light lunch. These are all things he has started to criticize regularly. I want everyone to understand I am really not depriving myself. I do not go hungry, I just do not enjoy stuffing myself. He does not listen when I tell him that forcing snacks on me constantly is ruining my appetite. Yesterday, we woke up late and I knew we were going out to lunch, so I only had 1 slice of thick brioche French toast, half a peach, and 2 slices of summer sausage. He had 5 slices of French toast with all the toppings and whipped cream, 1.5 peaches, the rest of the summer sausage, and an egg. I ended up eating a 3rd slice of his summer sausage, dipped in his egg, just to get him to stop nagging me. He still made 2 more comments about how little I ate before lunch. Then at lunch, he found new things to fight about. He did not want me to order plain iced tea or a diet soda. I do not like overly sweet drinks. He did not want me to order an entree salad with ranch, bacon, avocado, egg, and so on. We negotiated my lunch down to a breadstick, a side salad with added avocado, and 2 slices of pizza that he nagged me to finish until his father finally told him to stop because he did not want me to be too full for gelato later. The whole meal was pretty embarrassing for me. Of course, my boyfriend was not happy that I wanted a small gelato in a cup instead of a cone since I do not have much of a sweet tooth. We knew we would have a late dinner, so we stopped at a gas station that evening to get him a snack. I just wanted water, but I picked up a small package of corn nuts, hoping to make him happy, and we still had a minor argument, so I picked up some candy too. He claimed we were disagreeing because I was irritable from hunger. For dinner, we picked up food at a buffet-style restaurant that charges you by the weight of your to-go container. He decided I had to use a medium container instead of a small one. I filled the difference with various salads, but also included a very rich macaroni and cheese and some fried foods. He was bothered by the small portions I was serving myself, though I was taking more varieties than him. Think of it as a sample platter. My container was full. This is where we had our first real fight about my eating habits. He made a 3rd container of food just to make sure I ate enough when we got home. The restaurant is not cheap. I refused to back down on not spending a bunch of money on food that we would just end up picking at and throwing away. A lot of the foods he chose are things I do not like reheated. We have been working hard on being more frugal together lately, so I was really upset when he ignored me and paid for the extra food anyway. In the car on the way home, the argument continued until he became very frustrated and teared up as he shouted, "I work so hard to take care of you and you are always fighting me to hurt yourself." He then gave me a long, condescending guilt trip. I was truly enraged. When we got home, dinner went cold while we argued with each other using Google about how calories, protein, sugar, my body mass index, all of it really work. No matter what I showed him, he insisted that he did not feel like I eat enough because muscle weighs more than fat, so you are actually underweight and hiding it by lifting weights. I did not even know how to respond to that, so I just left and went home. He texted me 12 times because I left the now cold dinner at his place. I ignored him while I made my own food, but finally responded to tell him I was eating something else. He asked me to text him a picture of my food. I did not respond, and he sent me another 3 messages. This morning, he texted to ask if he could bring me breakfast. I said no. I am confused and annoyed. I am not really sure how we can resolve this. Update. In case anyone is wondering, it turns out that my now ex-boyfriend's mother and 2 sisters had convinced him that I had some kind of eating disorder, and they would nag him about it and make him feel terrible for letting me hurt myself. All 3 of them are obese, so I do not know why he placed so much value on their opinions about nutrition. I pointed this out to him, and we had a much better conversation about why he needed to stop criticizing the way I eat. He did put in a lot of effort to keep his opinions to himself, but he could never fully let go of his concern. Officially, this is not why we broke up, but it was similar to the shattering the illusion moment from How I Met Your Mother. It made me start noticing how he is quick to be arrogant, condescending, and patronizing whenever he thinks he is right, and how he blindly accepts every foolish thing his family tells him. That kind of behavior contributed to the end of our relationship. Versus said, "Sometimes the happy ending is that the relationship is over." Welpy said, "Looking back, I do not even know how she ate as much as she did on the day listed. I would be completely stuffed by lunch and would probably skip most of dinner and dessert. I already only really eat 2 meals a day, and the idea of someone trying to force me to eat more makes me feel sick." Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video, and thank you also to partner of the channel, Gamersupps. Use code DLAM to support the channel and get 10% off of your purchase, link in the description. I'm sure many of you like me have a hankering for daily caffeine, so go check them out. Lately, I've been a big fan of Titty Milk and Acid Rain, but they've got dozens of other flavors for y'all to try out. Anyway, thanks again for reaching the end, and I hope you all have an amazing passage of the next 24 hours.